Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm sorry, I cannot hold that accent for the whole 10 or 15 minutes that I'm filming this video. So I'ma just be a normal human citizen, right? So I've been watching tattoo videos since I was like 12 years old as like a coping mechanism. Like they're just so satisfying to watch. You know how people watch those videos where people clean rugs or like play with slime? That was literally my sister, by the way. My sister used to literally just play with slime and watch videos of people playing with slime on the floor, and I found that so icky. But for me, it was like tattoos. And I always was like, when I get older, I'm gonna get a bunch of tattoos. But now that I'm older, I don't like bigger tattoos, like obvious tattoos. So I got a bunch of tiny ones, and I feel like I have enough tiny ones to the point where I can make this type of video. So this video is gonna be called Maridine's Secret Hidden Tattoo Haul 2024-2025. Yeah, so I guess we'll get into it. Question mark? So the first tattoo, which is probably my worst tattoo, is my cross right here. I got it done for $5, if you couldn't tell. It's supposed to be a cross. I got it because I saw Rihanna had one, and mine looks nothing like Rihanna's, but it's there in theory. My second tattoo is a smiley face, and I've told this story multiple times in my life, but I'll explain it again because it's so cute. So when I was in 8th grade, I was in science class, and I remember I was really having a really bad day that day. Some girls were picking on me and saying that I stink when I didn't stink, by the way. They were just bullies and mean. I probably did stink. I was using my mom's perfume, not the point. So I went to class and I felt really bad, and I was like, oh my god, these girls were telling me I stink, and I don't stink, and maybe I do stink, but there's no reason to bully me. And so I was just there with my head down crying over it because, you know, a girl's sensitive, a girl's sad, a girl just got her ego shattered. And the girl next to me, her name was Angel, and if you're watching this, Angel, probably not. Thank you so much. She drew a little smiley face on my arm. It was right here. And she said, it's okay. The day is almost over. You'll be fine. And I remember that made me feel so much better on the inside. And I don't know. Even though it wasn't like a huge, big situation and I was kind of overreacting, honestly, I wasn't overreacting because you know what? That's the thing. Because sometimes with bullying, I feel like people say, oh, you're just overreacting because of how, like, common and normalized bullying has become. Like, it's not normal to pick on people. Like, stop making people feel bad for being themselves. Stop making people feel bad for existing. Stop making people feel bad for being human. That's weird. But that's a different topic for a different day. All I wanted to say is that's why I have this smiley face. So, like, when I have bad days now, I'm just like, it's okay. The day is almost over. You'll be alright. And guess what? It always turns out okay. It always turns out just fine, and the day does end. And it begins again, and then it ends again, and then it begins again, and then it ends again, and then so on and so forth. And it's never that serious, it's never that deep. My next tattoo is this one. I actually got this one done 2 days ago, actually, so it's still healing. From far away, it looks like a butterfly, but when you go closer, it's a cross, and I love it so much. And then there's a heart above it because I love hearts, and then the dots are for symmetry. When I was younger, my initial plan was to get like fairy wings or butterfly wings on my back to symbolize me like flying away from my problems. But like the older I got, the more I realized that I felt like I couldn't escape my problems. Even when I escaped them, it'd be like something else. And when I found God, I felt like I finally had some sort of escape, some sort of freedom from the problems that I faced, and I didn't have to run away. I could just run to God, and then I get that peace, and I get that satisfaction. So that's why I have that. I have the heart above it because I love hearts, and hearts symbolize love, and I love love so much. What number are we on? 4 is also about God. Hello. It says Jehovah right here. I had no idea why I put Jehovah instead of like Jesus or God. My initial idea was like to put God, but I prayed about it and God told me to put Jehovah on my arm. So I put Jehovah on my arm. I've yet to know why I put that there, but I wanted to put some sort of symbolization of God. And here's another reason why. I put that tattoo there because I totally forgot. My mom has her first love's name on her right arm, so I decided to put my first love's name on my right arm, and I thought that was so cute. Like, and I show her and we laugh sometimes. LOL. So that's why I have that. This heart on my arm. It's supposed to be a play on words. It's supposed to be a joke because heart on my sleeve, and I'm sensitive, so I have a heart on my sleeve. Last but not least, we have the tattoo on my foot. Hold on. This is my last tattoo. It's a rose. And I got rose because roses are my favorite, if you couldn't tell. I also have roses over there. I love roses so much. And roses symbolize resilience. And I feel like I'm super resilient and beautiful. I don't look like what I've been through. Thank God for that. I lied to you. I said that was my last tattoo. I actually have another tattoo. But yeah, I'm wearing a bodysuit, so I can't show you. So I'll add a picture. I have a line from the show Steven Universe on my stomach. I don't know why I have it. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the show. There's no deep meaning behind this. I really like it. It was pink. Pink's my favorite color. I like lions. Lions are super cool. And I love that show. That's my favorite show. And I think I'm gonna get another Steven Universe tattoo because that show really impacted the way I thought and think now. Like the idea of being yourself and stuff like that. Understanding how things impact the human mind and stuff like that. I learned that through a children's show. Well, I mean, through books too, and psychology classes, but I feel like I was first introduced to that in that show, and that's why I really love that show. Now we are done. But are we really done, or did we just begun? I think I showed you guys my nails in the last video, if I post the last video, but you guys can see again, they're kind of chipping now, but they're light pink and they're super duper cool. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. And I guess I'll see you in my next video. And if not, I really hope you have a great rest of your day. And bye.